Dan the Wheelman here, and my very extra special guest today is this. This is the 2025 Mazda MX-5 Roadster, but it's not just any MX-5 Roadster. This is the 35th anniversary special edition. That means artisan red paint, special colors on the wheels there. That means special badging, only on one side though, which is kind of weird, but is fitting in tradition actually with Mazda special editions. You've got the cream colored canvas soft top, cream colored interior as well, with 35th anniversary embroidery on the headrest. Pretty cool looking car to some people, but to me there's just a little bit of a problem.
Of course I'm gonna drop the top because the novelty of being able to do that manually from the driver's seat never gets old. And if I'm honest, if you're gonna buy a Roadster version of the Mazda MX-5 as opposed to the RF folding hardtop, you gotta go with the top down. All you people that drive MX-5 soft tops with the top up, leave those for us. Leave those for the folks that want to drive with the top down. Go buy yourself an RF if that's what you want to do. Come on, give us a break here. Right, the problem I mentioned in the intro. Well, the problem is I don't really love the way this particular MX-5 looks. I like the MX-5 styling in general, but this spec, I'm not a huge fan. The artisan red, this kind of dark maroon, it debuted on the CX-90 three-row crossover, I don't know, a number of years ago now, 4 or 5 years ago. And what connection does the CX-90 have with this other than being a Mazda? Nothing. Like, this is a sports car of the highest degree, of the purest degree. And as far as I'm concerned, an MX-5 should always be a bright color, red, blue, or yellow, or better yet, for this special 35th anniversary edition version, which is why we have this maroon paint on here and this beige interior. Those are 35th anniversary specials. I think they should have gone with the green. The original special edition MX-5, the NA. I don't remember exactly the model year. It might have been a 90, I'm not sure. Was a dark green, British racing green, which makes sense because the MX-5 was always based on those classic British roadsters of old. British racing green with a tan interior. So the interior here is fine, but the exterior color, not for me. Go with the green. I think every special edition of the MX-5, every anniversary edition of the MX-5 that they've done, there's been a number of them now, should be in that green. That's its color, in my opinion. This artisan red, I don't know. It's borrowed from the parts bin, and this is not a parts bin car. This is the 35th anniversary special. I know. I might get some hate for all that, maybe, but I just don't love the way it looks. And I'm kind of sound like I'm in the minority. A lot of people I've talked to, they love the way this looks, but maybe that's because they're not MX-5 purists, or should I say elitists, like I am. I don't know. Otherwise, though, the MX-5 in general, I love the look of. I think it looks fantastic. It's low, it's squat, it's modern and classic all at the same time. The long hood and short rear deck. It's got a tiny wheelbase. You can park it pretty much anywhere, and it's easy to do, especially the soft top, because you're looking over your shoulder, and there's plenty of visibility that way. The wheels, which, as I mentioned in the intro, are special, look okay. They look good. I'm down with those wheels. I'm with that. I'd go there. I don't think the original MX-5s, the kind of daisy flower wheels it had, would look so great on this kind of more modern vehicle. So I'm happy with the wheel choice they've made. So I think it looks great in general. I just wish they hadn't gone with this color for this particular version. And I'm not mistaken, it's the only way you can get the 35th anniversary version is with this red and this tan interior, as well as it's also got some 35th anniversary badging, subtle badging on the rear fender there. That's okay. Don't need to shout about it. Enough people are going to be looking at this thing anyway. So yeah. Now this car though did change in 2024 a little bit. They gave us a larger central infotainment display, 8 inches instead of 7, which has wireless Apple CarPlay and I think Android Auto as well. I don't have wireless charging here, but that's okay. I don't love wireless charging anyway. I have 2 USB-C ports up front as well. They've changed the grille design a little bit back in 2024 when this got a slight redesign. And that's pretty much it when it comes to this, but they also have done some stuff under the hood, which we're going to feel, I hope, later on. We go for a drive and windier roads. They changed the steering a little bit, and they also changed the suspension settings. This 35th anniversary edition, meanwhile, in addition to those cool wheels, also gets a set of unique Bilstein dampers as well, which great. Bilstein's a great damper company, big fan of it, and I think that'll help the handling of this vehicle, which is kind of hard to do because the MX-5 is already such a fantastic handling vehicle in the first place. It really is. Very little body roll because it's so low and so wide. You know, short wheelbase, real quick transitions. That's what this car has always been all about. And not only is it fun on windy roads, Haven't taken this one out there yet, but I've driven this many times before on windy roads, and it is fun there. But it's cool in the city too. The visibility is fantastic. The steering is so direct. You can zip in and out of traffic with that short little wheelbase, no problem. It's a joy to go for errands in this car, because you know you're going to have this great open air drive experience while you're doing it. I love it in so many environments, this car, and that's what's so great about it. Now, one thing they didn't do when they refreshed it in 2024 is they didn't give it any more power. It's still got a 4-cylinder engine, 181 horsepower, and 151 pound-feet of torque. Those are not huge numbers by any means, but this is what you call a momentum car. It's a car who's got a good power-to-weight ratio, doesn't need huge power. It only weighs, well, whatever, probably, around 2,000 pounds, something like that. I'll put the exact weight on the screen there, but it's very light, so it doesn't need a huge amount of power. It's about building up that power as you go through turns, on the road or on the racetrack, and using the momentum you develop to swing yourself through corners. You don't need gobs of power once you start driving like that, and I'm totally cool with that. Would I say no to more power? Of course not. In a sports car, regardless of momentum car or whatever you want to call it, more power is always better. That's why Porsche, whenever they bring the Boxster out, whenever they redesign it, whenever they bring a new model out, it almost always gets more power. So there you go. This one has had the same power for as long as I can remember. At least since it went to ND spec, 4th generation spec, I think it's had the same power. They haven't really changed that. Back in the day, there was a Mazda Speed version of the MX-5, the Gen 2 car. The NB car had it, B as in Bravo. Did have the turbocharged Mazda Speed engine. I have driven that Mazda Speed Roadster. It's a very cool car. It had a turbocharger on it, but that was back in the day when turbocharging, believe it or not, was still a little bit in its, maybe not its infancy, but in its teenagerhood anyway. So there was still some turbo lag. It didn't feel quite as agile as turbo engines do today. If they were to do a new MX-5, which they are going to do soon, I believe, and give it a turbocharger, which I think they will do, I believe, as well as some EV helps. I think it's going to be a hybrid. Now we're going to see what a turbocharged MX-5 or an MX-5 with more power is really going to be all about. Looking forward to that. But for now, 181 horsepower, 151 pound-feet of torque. It's close ratio 6-speed manual transmission. Absolutely. There's an automatic available, but I don't think so. I would never go that way. I think the MX-5 is still the only car, maybe in the world, but definitely in North America, whose, I think, manual transmission versions outsell its auto versions. No other car does that. The Mustang used to do it, but not anymore. So that's cool. That's why you go with the manual. The slick shifting, super close ratio, really well-defined gate, awesome clutch bite and response and take up, all that kind of stuff. Such a great transmission. You are missing a huge part of a huge part of this vehicle if you don't go with the MT. Absolutely. Ergonomically, I'll put it the way, it's no Toyota Camry or minivan, I'll put it that way, but you know, there are cup holders that can be moved around. I can either have them behind me here or over here in the passenger's footwell, which is kind of funny. You know, it has the Mazda central media controller right down here, which I actually really like. Very easy to access volume knobs here as well. Little space here to store smartphones. A little mini bin here underneath the armrest. Another one here, which is lockable, which is great if you want to leave the top down. So it's no ergonomic star. You can also fit carry-on sized, rollerboard in the trunk. So it's no, packaging star, but that's not really what it's for.
Not like it's completely bereft of creature comforts, this little Japanese Roadster. It's got heated seats to 3 levels, air conditioning, not digital, but you still have it. There's even a backup cam and a tilt and telescoping steering wheel, plus Bose speakers in the headrests. So they've managed to cram quite a lot into what is quite a small package. It's definitely not Spartan in here. And while most of the infotainment controls are done via this wheel, if you have Android Auto or Apple CarPlay activated, this does become a touchscreen. So there you go.
Okay, so I'm not in sport mode or anything like that here, because there is no sport mode, no drive modes at all. You could turn the DSC off, you could turn the traction control off or adjust it anyway, but that's about it. There's no gimmicks here. There's no auto rev matching downshift. So if you want to get that perfect rev match downshift, you got to heel and toe yourself. So I just want to keep it nice and pure, and I'm okay with that. So now we're on a nice windy road. I'm going to roll this thing through these turns here. You always shifting. You want to keep it in that power band. Red line's about 7,000 RPM. Keep it up around there. You get nice acceleration, but you really start to feel the pull probably about 5,000, which is where I'm at now. I'm going to shift up, and really just fantastic stability and turn-in, and I wasn't sure I would, but I can feel a better turn-in from this new steering setup than I did before, and the Bilstein dampers track just that much better through these turns. This is a road I've driven many times in many vehicles, including the MX-5, but I've never driven the MX-5 since it had those tweaks done, and it feels great out here. What a fun car. There's just very little in between you and what's going on ahead of you. Between the front wheels and the steering wheel, feels like there's almost nothing there. Just great feel, great response, and I just absolutely love that. Steering feel is not something we get so much these days, even in high performance cars, but there's plenty of it here, even though I'm using an electronic, or even though I have an electronic power assisted setup here, but that's okay. It still feels so pointable. Nice weight to the steering, just the amount you want to make it feel like you're piloting something just a little more special. And even though the car looks low slung, it's got those big 17-inch wheels and stuff, and you think it might be maybe a little brittle over some bumps, it really isn't. They've tuned the suspension so well that you don't get that brittle feel. You don't get kind of like pogoing across the road, just stability the whole way through. You can really tell they've refined this MX-5 over the decades that it's been around, and it just feels like such a tight and well put together package when you really start to get on it in an environment like this that it's made to excel in, and absolutely it does just that, even more so now with the tweaked steering and the better suspension. And the best part is you don't have to be doing 110 or 20 kilometers an hour to have fun in this, because you're so low to the ground and because it's so light and all the wind is rushing around you because the top's down. You could be doing 80 or 90 and feel like you're doing 100 or 110 or 120, and that's what's so much fun about these momentum cars, is you can have so much fun well within the comfort zone of both the car and yourself. And to me, that's worth its weight in premium gasoline, which, by the way, Mazda does recommend you use with this, even though it's not turbocharged, which I guess is a bit of a bummer, but there you have it. But either way, it's just so much fun and so accessibly fun. And that's what I think one of the reasons why the MX-5 has been so popular for as long as it has been. I love this thing. 35th anniversary or not, hard top, folding soft top. I'd go with the soft just because I like being able to pop it up from the driver's seat, and I actually feel like I have more headroom with the Roadster than I do with the RF hardtop. Whatever you want to call it, it's always such a fun drive. Just give me the green color next time. That's really all I ask for at this point. It's probably not going to happen, but that would be the only note I really have for this MX-5. After all these years, all the times I've driven it, I've driven every generation of this vehicle now. Never ceases to amaze me just how perfect and honed it is at what it does. You don't find a lot of perfect vehicles out there. There's vehicles that are trying to maybe do too many things, be too many things, crossover coupes and four-door coupes and so on and so forth. But a vehicle like this, it's not trying to be anything more than a rear-wheel drive roadster, preferably with a manual transmission. And when you have that singular of a focus, you really can make sure you get it right in all the ways you need to get it right. And that is why I love the MX-5 so much. I absolutely love it. I get to drive these regularly. Every year I try to get a drive in one because I just need my MX-5 fix. Maybe I'll have to buy one of these days. Just might. Anyway, thank you for tuning in to this quick look at the 2025 Mazda MX-5 Roadster 35th Anniversary Edition. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please do. If not, no hard feelings, of course. You can follow me on Instagram at Dan the Wheelman, on Blue Sky at Dan the Wheelman, and of course, keep it locked to the Dan the Wheelman YouTube channel. Always fun new stuff going up here, there, and everywhere. So thanks again for tuning into this video. Hope you enjoyed it. Sayonara, folks. This is Dan the Wheelman signing off from the cockpit of the Mazda MX-5.